Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to start a new journal today. I always need to have a couple to work on side by side because I lose my inspiration sometimes when I do one journal and then I need another one. So I think it will be something that can calm me down a bit. I have been stressed at work and I think I need to do something that is a bit of slow stitching and embroidery laces. So I'm thinking about using some of my old antique textile and make a cover from this and do collage by beautiful white and light things. And sew some of it on machine and then do some embroidery and put on some of my old monograms and embroidered pieces on top of it. So if you would like to see that, you can follow me. It will be a few recordings, I guess, before we have made it. But first I did another thing today and I thought I could give you a little tip. These are my 200 grams paper and I took some digitals and I actually copied them onto tracing paper like this, so they are transparent. And then I took other papers that I think is beautiful and then I put them on top of each other in my printer and scanned them so they got kind of double. So on this one I put one of my tracing papers and then another 1, 2, 3 different papers with other patterns on top of it, and then I got these beautiful patterns. And also this one I put first a tracing paper with my eco dyed print and then a music paper, sheet music. So I really thought this was fun. So if you have a printer and some tracing paper, you can make amazingly fun papers for your journals. This is mostly Ruby and Pearl EXO digitals, and then I have used some of my own old book pages, like this one. And this is my eco print, and these are my old wallpapers. And then I put another eco dyed paper under it, but you can see a few of the leaves, but it was too patterned. And then I took this one that was also a Ruby and Pearl, and then I put a greenish paper under it, so got this kind of greenish style on it. So that was fun. So if you have tracing paper like this, you can just print them out and then put other paper under them, so you get double print like this. That's fun. That way you can do them very unique and different. So now you know how that is done. So I'm going for a 5 as my covers, and then I have made a spine. And these are 200 grams paper. I want it to be soft but still sturdy. So I'm going to put the textile on top of these, or these between layers of textile. So we are going to cut these out so I have the right size to do the embroidery on. So this is double now. So let's first do the length of it. And I'm taking it a little bit bigger, so in case it's not totally straight. Like that. And then I will put my first paper on that side. Then we will have the spine, and I'm leaving a little bit of gap so we can fold it without problems. And then the next paper. So now we can see that it's a little bit of overhang that we can cut off. So doing the same, leaving a couple of millimeters in case something should happen and I need a little bit more. We can always cut that off later when we have put on the decorations. So then I'm taking my pen and I'm going to mark where I have my edge. So I know where to put my decorations so I don't get them in the middle of the folding for the spine. So now I know this is the spine part, and then we are going to decorate these two sides. I also taken a few pieces of pure linen that we maybe can use too. But first of all, I'm going to use my old textile with the embroidery and from the old bed linen. Then we might add some color later on, but I'm not sure about that. So I'm going to pull out some of my embroideries, and then we are going to kind of collage it on this one so we get a nice cover to get inspired from later on. So let's do the magic thing they do on television. And ta-da! And we have the cover collaged. Of course, I did the recording of this, and I didn't keep track of the time, and it was more than an hour, and it was lost when I was going to save it. But I am going to talk you through it. I started with the cheesecloth in the first layer, and I covered all, so we get a nice layer of that. Then the second layer was a piece from a wedding dress with these embroideries, and I didn't cover all of it. I took pieces and put down. And then the third layer was my old curtains, one of my first ones that I had when I was a teenager, and I have hoarded them, and now they are on this journal cover. And then I used different kind of these laces from my stash. These was the curtains with small roses on. And then I took pieces of different old antique embroideries and put on them. also some tattered lace and some of these embroidered pieces. So it's actually no catastrophe. You have seen the collage part earlier, so I think that that doesn't matter. It's mostly for inspiration, so that you can maybe do something like this yourself. And I have glued it just a bit here and there, so it will keep in place when I'm going to sew on top of it. And I'm sewing on my machine first, so I'm sure that this will stay in place. Then we are going to do some embroidery on it and cover the back with something when we have done all the embroidery, so we don't need to see all the threads and the knots that I will of course make. So I'm going to go to my sewing machine and put these pieces down, and then I will be back to show you how it looks. So now all the small pieces are secured with the sewing machine, so we can do the embroidery without thinking so much that something needs to be sewn down for making sure it stays in place. Now we can do the embroidery where we want it and where we like it, and we don't need to think about that something needs to be put down in some way. So that's nice. So I think we will leave this to dry, and then I will be back and we can do some embroidery. So if you have any ideas, please let me know. If there is something you think we should do with this, something that you think could be nice in the end. I will sleep on it overnight and maybe figure out what we are going to do next. So sorry about the recording, but I hope that you got inspired anyway, and that you will keep me company in the next recording where we will do the embroidery. So thank you so much, and see you soon again. Until next time, bye bye from Sweden.